Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone this morning? Oh, I'm a couple minutes late. I'm sorry. Got a little bit behind. I think my hair is even still wet. But I'm here. So I'm here to answer everyone's questions. And if you have them, please put them in the chat. And I'll get to them as soon as possible. You can ask anything. It can be a personal question, or it could be a question about anything in the global community, in the U.S. community, in your local community, whatever happens to be on your mind. I'll see if I can connect to it and give you an answer. So one thing I learned from last week is that this really comes through on the microphone, and it's me shuffling my cards. So I'm going to try to be very careful and not pound on the desk as I do the cards. Okay, well, we've had a lot of things going on this week, and it's been pretty stressful, I think, for everyone. The political climate is always stressful, made more so this week because of the Jeffrey Epstein files here in the U.S. and whether they'll be released or not released, and if they're there, and whether they're there, whether they're not there, or what they are. Or are they a list, or are they a file? I mean, it's pretty mind-boggling that everybody has an opinion on it. I ran into a wonderful video done by a woman named, I'm going to get this wrong, Katie Summers. I think it was Katie Summers. Let me take it. Oh, Kirby Summers. Whoop. And there we are. Kirby Summers. And she was on Sean Atwood's YouTube channel last night or the night before. She's an investigative reporter, and she's been very deeply involved in connecting all the dots between Jeffrey Epstein and, it seems like, everybody else in the world. She has written several books. They're on Amazon. Feel free to go over there and take a look at those. But she gave out so much information, I couldn't even get it all down. I think I'm going to have to go listen to that again. But the gist of it was that Jeffrey Epstein was heavily involved with the CIA and also with the Mossad, and the Mossad through Ghislaine Maxwell. And Ghislaine's father, as probably everybody knows by now, was Mossad, or was and is, or I don't know if you ever get out of Mossad once you're in there. But Ghislaine's father was Mossad. And this is why Jeffrey had so many political connections, because of his CIA connections. He was passing information back and forth among them. I'm going to do just a quick read on Jeffrey and his connections with Mossad and CIA and see what I can come up with intuitively. And maybe that's why, Trump reversed himself on releasing the Epstein tapes, and everybody says it's because he's in them. And, that may be so. And, but there may be a larger reason here. It could be that the connections between Epstein and the CIA and Mossad and all that is in the files. And he's been told, you better not release those. That's going to be bad for you, buddy. And so he's panicking. He's definitely panicking. So let's do a couple of questions here. First was Jeffrey Epstein heavily involved with CIA? Son, that's a big yes. The ones, he was actually not just a pawn. He was really very, look at him, he has the world in his hands and he's out looking. So I think someone called him one of the young women that he abused, said that when she was introduced to Jeffrey Epstein by, I think, Bill Clinton or someone in that room that was high up, they introduced him as the king of the world. Now that's a very interesting title for Jeffrey Epstein, who seems to me just to be a low-class predator and sex trafficker. For entertainment purposes only, YouTube. But kind of follows here. And we're wondering what's going on. The next one is a Three of Swords reversed. But, not only is it heartbreak, it's underhanded heartbreak. It's control and working against the interests of the population, but maybe not the CIA. It's always pretty underhanded. The next one is the Nine of Cups. He was on top of the world. He was on top of the world, pretty satisfied with what his life was. The next is the Queen of Cups, but she's reversed. Now, this may be Ghislaine. Ghislaine could have been introduced to Jeffrey to keep an eye on him, maybe in the beginning. There was another woman, I can't remember her name right now, but I remember reading about her, that was Ghislaine before Ghislaine. There was a woman, a blonde woman, that was Jeffrey's procurer. That's kind of a difficult word for me right now. Before Ghislaine, and she was replaced by Ghislaine. So I would say, is he? Yeah, the world, the upside down world. These are the things that are underneath. Here's how I think of it is, here all the people of the world going about our daily business, having an inkling of something going on here and there, and pretty easily manipulated by media, whatever. That's us. And then underneath the world are so many things going on that we don't know about. And when something pops up from underworld to our world, then kind of all hell breaks loose. And that's how we have something like this Jeffrey Epstein thing, which was supposed to go away when he died, but it hasn't. And so it's popped its head up to where we are, and we're all confused and trying to figure out what's going on. People under here know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. It's kind of like that children's game where you see all the people. So that's what I'm about Jeffrey and the CIA. I think I'm going to also check here how he figures in with Mossad. Maybe we'll just do a quick one on Ghislaine. I think Ghislaine sent Trump a message by saying that she wanted a pardon and she should get out of jail, because if there were no Jeffrey Epstein files, why is she there, right? If this was all, and kind of saying, I'm going to whistleblow on you if you don't do what I say or let me out. You notice Ghislaine is the only one of all these men that we have had inklings that are involved with Jeffrey. The only one in jail is a woman. And she holds some cards. She's not stupid. Let's see what about Ghislaine. King of Pentacles. Yeah, I would say that's Mossad. They have all the money and the power. And here's a strong woman. She's not afraid to take them on. Oh, and she's ready to fight. She's in there and she's pissed about being in there and she wants out. Oh, they're going to try to do a deal with her. They're going to try to, oh, you know what? They're going to try to come up with something to get her out of there. Whether Trump gives her a pardon or whatever. Yeah, they're working on a plan. And the Knight of Pentacles. Look at him. And, just like the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles is, he's got it all under control, He moves easily. He's kind of a spy. He's in and out of places where normal people don't go. He's working on her behalf. Now, there's a decision to be made, and I think that's probably Trump's, on how to get her out without involving himself, and how to he really can't release these files, but his base is just screaming for them. And at this point, I'm not sure. He's not healthy. He's not feeling well. I'm not sure he's so worried about himself so much as, or at least what his base thinks of him, as for his own personal safety. Oh, and here it is. Yeah, he's worried. He's thinking about sneaking away. He's trying to get out of it any way he can. And there's his base all infighting. All the people in his cabinet. There's some money going to be changing hands to get her out of there. Oh, and there's my Trump card. So he's going to do it. He's going to get her out of there one way or another. And his life depends on it. So he's going to do some magic. But she's holding strong. She's holding some cards. And he knows it. And the Mossad is backing her. They want her out also. She was there to, I'm hearing, give Jeffrey anything he wanted, because the information that flowed between him and Mossad through the connections he had with CIA and the Mossad was so important to both sides. And so she was there to make sure that everything went smoothly and that he was happy. And that's what all those girls were about. Those girls were just pawns in a government game. Wow. Let's shake off some of that horrible energy. Yeah. Whew. So, another really kind of a really cool thing that I ran across this week when I was looking for the news to talk to you about was there are 8 babies that were born in the UK that have had, what's it called? Mitochondrial. Oh, I forgot the name of it. Maybe I'll bring it up. Anyway, but what they do is they take they say it's the 3-parent baby, but that's not true because less than 1% of the mitochondria or the DNA in a baby would come from this change to the mitochondria. So I'm getting ahead of myself. 8 babies have been born in the UK that their parents knew that they had a genetic problem that would lead to their child having something like cerebral palsy or some of these diseases. And they opted to have a little bit of mitochondria from the egg of another woman, healthy woman, put into their egg. So it's the mother's egg, the father's sperm, and then a little bit of mitochondria from another egg, from a healthy egg. So that baby, that new mitochondria is released in the egg, and as the baby grows, that disease does not grow. And so that baby is healthy when they're born. 8 healthy babies were born this way. So I think that's a great thing for science. Now, of course, this is banned in the US, but it's not banned in the UK. And I do know that this is a real shining hope for parents who do not want to bring children into this world that have these terrible diseases. Let's see if I can share my screen on this. Let's see, I have to go here. Here it is. 8 babies born with DNA from 3 people in the world's first IVF trial aimed at minimizing the risk of inherited diseases. So I'm going to read on this. This is really awesome. We talk a lot about in the future, we're going to have all this great technology that will help people, will reverse these diseases. This is just the start of it. This technology, some of it's called CRISPR technology, where they change some of the DNA in the baby. Well, this way they're changing it by adding some mitochondrial DNA. This is going to become more and more common over the next 30 years. And this country really needs to get out from under this heavy, heavy Christian oppression that we've had since the place was founded. We were founded because the Puritans didn't think the religion was strict enough in Europe, and so they came here. So we definitely have deep roots in Puritanism. Let's see. Whoa, okay. dropped one. I wonder if that's one that wants to get jumped out. Just a minute, I'll grab it. Yep, it is. Well, for now, let's go back. Take this off. Okay, so for now, we have the hangman, and he's upside down. So he's been waiting a long time for this, and these are obstacles, and let's see what they're saying. Obstacles and breakthroughs at the same time. Of course, here is the Knight of Swords, and he's of course charging right ahead in other countries, not in the U.S., but I think the U.S. will eventually come forward with that. They're going to have a lot of opposition, even from women. So when we can't even allow an abortion in this country, we have to overcome a lot of women's oppression before we can do that, and that's why this guy's hanging in there. And it's going to take a lot of money to overcome some of this stuff, but there is the opportunity for American women who have enough money and they really want a child. It's expensive to adopt a child too. So if you want to have a child, Mexico does not. It's legal in Mexico, and it is also legal in several countries in Europe. So here's the future. This Three of Wands. I think it's about progress and foresight. Things that are. It's the future, right? So this is the future. And, people are going to need to embrace it and get their heads out of their behinds. And this woman here, there's going to be a woman that is going to help with that. I keep getting the name Elizabeth Warren, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I'll look up and see if she has some sort of legislation coming up on this type of thing. Elizabeth Warren keeps popping into my head. And Ace of Pentacles. I think it will eventually turn out okay for women, maybe in the sooner than we think. If we have a good midterm election, then maybe some of these oppressive laws will get overturned. And yeah, there will be judgment on what's gone on. So, but important news for women who have these diseases. A friend of mine had a very debilitating disease that is genetic, and her mother had it and died of it. She is afraid to have herself tested for it because she doesn't want to find out if she has it, because it is such a horrible death. And she doesn't want her children to be tested. She has 4 children. Odds are at least 25% of her children, so one of these children will have this disease. Just think if she could have known before she had these children that just a little tweak in the genetic material can make her and her children free of this. It's like a sword hanging over them for their entire lives. Okay, well, let's see. What else do we have going on here? We have let's talk about what to look for in the coming week. Okay. Is this better? I'm not doing so much of that. Oh. Okay. Interesting. So I would watch out. This Hierophant is upside down. This is spirituality is going to be repressed. I think that the Hierophant is like not exactly like the Emperor. It's more like the Pope, right? It's a spiritual, so maybe something going on with the Pope. Maybe it's bad news. Maybe there's going to be some bad news. I don't know. I see sea and I see lightning with this. So I have no idea what it is, but it is change. And it's upside down. So it has to do with addictions. I'm not connecting the dots. Spirituality and addictions. Let's see what else it is. And decisions. And not a great outcome. Wow. Let's see. Let's talk about spirituality. There are a lot of wars going on right now in the world. Let's see if it has to do with, let's get some clarification on this because I am not getting anything. Let me get a different deck. Let me get my Oracle deck and let's see what we can come up with. There are a lot of wars in this country. In this world right now. There is, of course, Ukraine, which is not a religious war. Israel, and Iran, which may be. This feels more that. So maybe there's something coming up in Israel, Palestine, Iran area. Let's see what we've got. It's not good, whatever it is. Okay, here this pops out. Oh, Eileen Chang. This is from my Witch's Oracle book. So Chang, it's about fate. So it's the fate of some people are going to be decided this week. And there's going to be some trickery. You know, they've been waffling about the access through the Red Sea. I wonder if there's going to be something going on there. A lantern. Some ray of light. And a teacup. I'm getting Russian teacup. I'm saying Russia may have something going on here in the Red Sea, the shipping routes. There's some trickery going on. And it's home. So they think that that belongs to them. And they're willing to use a knife to get it. Hedgehog. Somebody's going to curl up in a ball and play dead, but they're not. And the doll. That reminds me of the Annabelle doll. Bad vibrations, bad spirits. And my last card is devotion. It's Mirabelle, kind of like Annabelle, very close. Devotion. Something very bad is going to happen in the Red Sea. Something very bad is going to happen in the Red Sea. Really bad spiritual vibes. Evil. Okay, so watch out for that. Can't be precise on the timing, but I can say that there's something going on there, and it's not going to be good. Okay, well, we're coming to the end of our time. Oh my goodness, we're past our time. But I'm going to pull an empowerment card for the next week. Something we can focus on. And there are so many here. These are the empowerment cards. I hope everyone has a good week. Mine is going to be a really busy week. I'm involved with a TNR group. Do you know what that is? It's called Trap, Neuter, and Release for feral cats. We're going to be doing a lot of fundraising in the next week. We have a lot of feral local cats, over 300, that we want to get trapped and neutered before the end of the year. And so we're working on that. So it's going to be very busy. Okay, our card for the week is Empower. And let's see what it says. We're all creative and blessed with an imagination. Empower your thoughts and dreams to come true. Make them real and create. So empower yourself. That's your word for the week. Thank you so much for listening to me. Come back next week at 11 a.m. I'm here every Sunday at 11 a.m. to give you my take on the news and answer any questions that you may have. So until then, goodbye. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Don't forget to like and share. Get some people coming in and asking some more questions. All right, bye-bye.